Good. Happy Tuesday morning, February 15, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's get started right now. First step, burglary suspect could be connected to similar crimes. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa. Sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is...
Dagan Ramirez Tejada is accused of taking part in the burglary here at Nault's last week, another one in Nashua. And police believe that he may be a suspect in other burglaries that took place back in December.
Dagan Ramirez Tejada from Lawrence, Massachusetts, appeared before a judge via Zoom on Monday. Prosecutors allege he and a group of others broke into Nault's Power Sports last Friday. While one suspect was able to get inside, the group was not able to steal anything, thanks to Nault's beefed-up security system.
It's alleged that the defendant was involved in stealing some U-Haul vehicles, one out of Woburn, Mass., and participating in an attempted burglary that occurred at Nault's a few days ago.
Prosecutors say this isn't the first burglary Ramirez Tejada has attempted. He was arrested in Nashua back in January after an off-duty police officer saw a group loitering outside a pawn shop at 3:30 in the morning. Ramirez Tejada was initially released, but a warrant was later issued after another member of his group made this admission.
CG indicated they planned to smash the front window or door of the business to gain entry and steal jewelry they would later pawn in order to get quick cash.
Prosecutors say they have evidence that links Ramirez Tejada to a string of other burglaries that happened across New Hampshire and Massachusetts in December.
Right now, Ramirez Tejada is facing a total of 5 charges, but prosecutors expect that additional charges will be forthcoming. Reporting live in Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Children found surrounded by uncapped needles. Manchester police say a man is facing several charges after 2 children were found inside his home surrounded by more than 100 needles, many of them uncapped. New Hampshire officials hold high-level meeting regarding Harmony Montgomery case. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Everyone has mental health. Is yours keeping you from the life you want? Riverbend is here for you, providing mental health services for all needs and all ages. Specialized treatment delivered with compassion. Visit us at riverbendcmhc.org.
Jen, Director Ribson tells News 9 a large meeting was held last week. The attendees included the Office of the Child Advocate, DCYF leadership staff, and other officials connected to Harmony's case. The public knows very little about DCYF's involvement with Harmony Montgomery from the time a Massachusetts judge granted custody of her to her father, Adam Montgomery, in New Hampshire in February 2019. Police have now narrowed the timeline of Harmony's disappearance to November 28th to December 10th of 2019. DCYF declined to verify if Harmony was even in the system here, citing strict confidentiality laws. But Governor Sununu called for an internal review of her case, and the Child Welfare Agency has now confirmed the results of that review are nearly complete.
That meeting occurred last week, so final work on the recommendations and such is underway right now.
News 9 Investigates has also learned that as of January 19th, 2022, there is only 1 child unaccounted for in DCYF protection. We asked if that child was Harmony. The director said he could not legally identify which child it is. Director Ribson said the Attorney General's office will have the final say on which parts, if any, of that internal review are released to the public. Live in the newsroom, Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire advocates say high-profile case of alleged child sexual abuse has community repercussions. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
If you're a contractor, Beltane's Building Supply wants to be your first choice for lumber and building products. Our contractor sales team can expedite orders for timely delivery right to your job site with our huge 50-vehicle delivery fleet.
Visit us at beltates.com or any of our 9 locations.
47-year-old Joshua Pinkowski of Concord is held without bail on some 50 charges involving the alleged sexual assault of 2 teen victims, as well as the manufacture of child sexual abuse images. Farmington police say they will soon file charges involving 2 more alleged victims that he allegedly contacted through social media. Court paperwork says he paid them for sexual images and in-person sexual activity. While they can't speak to this case in particular, advocates say high-profile cases can be triggering for any assault victim.
Believing survivors, believing people, opening the door to that conversation.
And can open the public's eyes.
Unfortunately, abusers often hide behind titles or positions in their family or their community in an effort to cover up. Or have people not believe that they actually committed the really hideous underlying crimes.
And they say conversations should be ongoing.
Young teens are especially vulnerable because they're old enough to be using technology, but probably not old enough to appreciate the long-term consequences of images like this being captured and shared on the internet.
And that crimes have secondary victims.
It sort of leaves a trail of, whether they're family members or neighbors or friends or employers or whatever that then don't know how to handle it and want to do the right thing.
And they say crisis centers are there to help anyone navigate the resources that can find them the help they need. And you'll find contact information for them on our mobile app and website. Reporting live, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. No Democratic challenger has emerged yet in New Hampshire governor's race. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
While other dealerships' lots are empty, New Car has the used cars, trucks, and SUVs you want.
Governor Chris Sununu is seeking a 4th term in 2022, and there are plenty of Democrats who want to stop him, but so far, none have stepped forward to run against him. In the 2016 cycle, eventual Democratic nominee Colin Van Ostern launched his campaign in October 2015.
I'm a business leader.
Steve Marchand jumped into the 2018 race a full year and a half before the election.
Typically, it is a little early, but these are not typical times.
And in the last cycle, Andrew Volinsky was in by October of 2019.
We're interested in a new kind of leadership.
Former candidates like Volinsky, who is not running in 2022, say even if the odds are long, someone needs to step into the ring.
There is a lot at stake. If Sununu rolls over the next candidate like he did in 2020, he's got a clear path to national office.
In terms of potential Democratic candidates, Executive Counselor Cindy Warmington does not appear to be taking any steps toward a campaign. Former Governor John Lynch shut down talk of a comeback in an interview with WMUR last year, but he's still on the wish list of some Democrats. And it appears we will hear soon from State Senator Tom Sherman on a possible run for governor.
Are you any closer to a decision on that?
Very close. Thank you.
New Hampshire Democratic Party Chairman Ray Buckley tells us he's confident the right candidate or candidates will emerge eventually. When they do, insiders will be watching for 2 things.
So that candidate must have a great message right out of the gate from his or her camp. She has to or he has to be able to sell it. Then the money comes. So really fundraising is a key and critical component. It is the fuel for the gas tank for any campaign engine.
In Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Future COVID-19 tracking methods could rely heavily on wastewater testing. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Everyone has mental health. Is yours keeping you from the life you want? Riverbend is here for you, providing mental health services for all needs and all ages. Specialized treatment delivered with compassion. Visit us at riverbendcmhc.org.
With the availability of COVID-19 at-home testing increasing, the number of active cases being reported is decreasing, and that's where wastewater surveillance can be a valuable tool.
So it gives us a chance to know where the infections are coming from regionally. If we have areas, large campus housing areas where we see a large increase, we know that we're going to have to think about how we need to maybe change our response to that area.
The University of New Hampshire developed its wastewater testing method in the summer of 2020. People infected with COVID-19, whether they have symptoms or not, shed genetic material from the virus in their feces, and that can be detected in wastewater.
It's a type of PCR that goes beyond the typical nasal swab testing that we do. It uses a very specific quantification approach.
DHHS Director of Public Health Services, Patricia Tilley, says this kind of data can give us an early warning sign of increasing transmission and has the potential to help us decide where to direct testing and other healthcare resources. The Keene DPW also started testing wastewater in 2020 in partnership with Keene State College, but has since discontinued the testing.
Like that, it gave weight, I think, to for us to use and communicate with the public and for Keene State to communicate with its population that it really wasn't here. It wasn't just something happening somewhere else.
According to the CDC website, there are 3 facilities in New Hampshire currently reporting wastewater surveillance data to the CDC. In all, 37 states are working to develop programs. Live in Manchester, Jason King, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. American Airlines flight diverted due to unruly passenger. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
What will you design today? A big idea? A new opportunity? An inspired community? With Canva, you can. Start designing for free at canva.com.
Back here at home tonight into those frightening moments on board an American Airlines flight. That flight forced to divert because of that unruly passenger who authorities say tried to get into the cockpit and tried to open a door mid-flight. Here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, tonight.
Tonight, that terrifying incident aboard an American Airlines flight from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. A Justice Department affidavit says the man became increasingly agitated on the flight. And about 2 hours in, the man, who the DOJ says was 6'3" and 240 pounds, tried to break into the cockpit. And when a flight attendant blocked him with a cart, allegedly attempted to break a champagne bottle on the counter. Then, says the affidavit, he tried to open the exit door on the nearly full flight at 30,000 feet. A flight attendant even slugging him with a coffee pot.
He grabbed the pot and he went to the front, kept bashing, like was hitting the guy on the head.
Other passengers and crew, including a police officer, using zip ties and duct tape to restrain him. And just a few hours later, another American flight left Phoenix for Honolulu, turning back after what the airline called a passenger disruption. That passenger also met by law enforcement at the gate. In the wake of those incidents, Delta's CEO renewing his call for a national no-fly list.
We think any individual that's disruptive aboard an airplane that gets in the way of customer and employee safety needs to be addressed at the highest possible level, and actions have consequences.
David, according to the FAA, so far this year, there have been 10 reports of unruly passengers every day. The FAA says the majority of them are arguments over face coverings. David.
All right, Matt Gutman live from California tonight. Matt, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye, and see you later on.